Okay, next question. Mrs. Singh noticed that her ring slipped easily from her finger when she washed her hands. However, this did not happen when her hands are dry. So name a force that is useful in keeping the ring on her finger. So as you know, a ring on the finger gets taken out easily when your hands are wet, especially when it's soapy. But even if there's no soap that is being used, a wet hand allows the ring to be slipped out of the finger quite easily. And a dry hand, it gets a little bit harder. And the force that is useful in keeping the ring on her finger is what we know as friction. Just a revision of what friction is. Friction is the opposing force which acts in the opposite direction. So imagine this is your finger and this is the ring. If you try to push this out, right, the friction will push the other way around, because there's two surfaces touching each other. When there are two surfaces touching each other, there will be friction. So the friction between the ring and the finger will prevent it from coming out. So again, you can see this, right, that the ring is here, and if you try to push the ring out of the finger like that, right, what happened is that the friction will go the other way around, right? So if you try to push the ring out like that, what you will have is that the friction will try to push it the other way around, and hence it stays in place, okay, unless this force here is greater than this, then it starts to move. Right? So again, the force that's keeping the thing in place is called friction. Alright, now so what happens is when your hand is wet, the water will get in between your ring and your this darker green here is your ring, and this lighter green is your skin, and water gets in between, and it acts like a lubricant. Alright, and because it acts like a lubricant, the ring can move much easier. Alright, now if you look at the next question, explain how applying chalk on your hand will help the gymnast, or applying chalk on the gymnast's hand will help the gymnast to stay to stay on the poles, right, on the bars, right? So in the sport, gymnasts are observed to dust their hands with chalk to absorb the moisture. Alright, so gymnasts will chalk their hands like that. They put lots of chalk. I'm sure all our rock climbers will, are used to this too. I do know rock climbers also put chalk in their hands to absorb the moisture. Alright, so the reason why you absorb moisture is so that it does not become slippery. Just like in this diagram here, right? In this diagram, you can see that the chalk will absorb all this moisture. When there's no moisture, the friction will increase, right? The friction will increase, and therefore, the gymnast is able to grip onto the bars better because friction has been reduced. In another sport, bobsledding requires teams of 4 to steer their sled through narrow ice track to reach the finishing line in the shortest possible time. So this is a bad diagram. You can't see this clearly, so this is a better one. Alright, so you have 4 people on a bobsled, and it goes through ice, and instead of using wheels, it uses steel blades. Alright, and so the question asks, what is the relationship between the amount of force, the friction, basically the force mentioned in A is friction, and the speed of the sled. So, if there are more friction here, do you think the sled is going to be faster, or the sled is going to be slower? If there's more friction here, will it make the speed decrease, or will make the speed increase? So that's for you to find out, or for you to answer. It's a very simple question here. So just put the relationship. Remember how to put relationship statements, and that's it. Thank you. If you don't understand what I've just said, just rewind one more time. Thank you.